Hey, this is Carly Gibert, and I'm hanging out with Rob from Front Row Life.
Carly, it's awesome to get to know you and get to talk to you a little bit about your music. But before we actually do that, I want to talk about your voice because I immediately fell in love with your voice. So I'm curious, like you learning to sing the way that you do and kind of discovering the sound that you are creating right now. What was that artist development like for you?
Honestly, I just started singing when I was a kid. I don't know, I was like 4 and I was singing songs. I was singing Beyonce. I was just singing I don't know. I loved music like my whole life and I just grew up with it because my dad also really likes music. So yeah, I don't know. It just kind of like happened naturally, I would say. Like there wasn't a point where I was like, all right, this is what I want to do. It's like I just knew. It's like I don't know, I've just been singing forever and I didn't really think about it. It just happened. And also I never really took singing lessons. I wanted to do it at some point, but then this one producer, he told me one thing once, it just stuck in my brain for the rest of my life. He said if you go to singing classes, like maybe the teacher that you can have will teach you how to sing in like a certain way and it can change the way that you sing, which is like the special thing about me, I guess.
Mm.
So I'm never doing that. Like that's just stuck in my brain. Yeah, I don't know, like just random story.
Well, it's amazing like to hear you kind of talk about it just because like I hear so many artists talk about like how they discover their sound, but I've never gotten this kind of passion coming out of it like I got from you right now. Like you're genuinely like super like excited talking about just like how you discovered your sound. So like I can only imagine what it's like when you're actually in the studio and creating music. I feel like your excitement level just goes even higher.
I
Uh,
love being in the studio. I just love it so much. Like it's literally my favorite thing to do. Like I can be in the studio the whole day. I don't care. Like sometimes people are just like, yeah, you should go home and like rest. No, I just want to be in the studio. I want to be making music all the time. And even if it's just by myself, like now since the started and everything, I mean, since I've just been recording at home and it's like
mm.
I can be inside of my room for like 12 hours and I don't care. I really don't. It's just, I love doing it so much.
Back in 2018, you were out here in LA in the studio for like a month or so, like on your own. So what was that experience like for you? Like first time ever out here, and at the same time, like how do you feel that you've evolved to now your studio sessions today?
Yeah, so like that was when I first got signed, I think. And I was 16. Like I didn't really know what I was doing. I was so young and I don't know, it was just so fast. Cause like I was there with some of my friends from Barcelona and like I happened to be there when the label wants to like meet me and everything. And I
Wow.
just went to Universal. I had a meeting with Celine, who's the person who signed me. And I don't know. I didn't know what was going on. It was just so crazy to me because it happened so fast. And like, I don't know. It was also like it worked perfectly because like a week after that, I was leaving back to Spain. And then, I mean, going back and forward all the time because I didn't have my visa, blah, blah, blah.
Mm.
Yeah, like it just happened like it was meant to be, you know? Like it was perfect timing. It was perfect everything. And I don't know. Only thing I would say though, when I first started, I had no idea what I was doing. Like they were putting
Wow.
me in studio sessions with like huge producers and like huge writers, and I was like, oh my god, I really have no idea what I'm doing. Like, it was crazy. And now I don't know. I feel like a few years later, I kind of know what I'm doing, and yeah, like you can really tell in my music. I think.
Do you know exactly like what drew the label's attention to you and your music? Like was there a specific song, a specific moment? Like did you reach out to them? Like what was that like for you?
Yeah, it's actually funny story because I mean, I used to post videos on my Instagram like original songs. I mean, I started with covers and then I started posting original songs as well. And my dad sent one of my original songs to Celine on Instagram. Like he just
Mm.
DM'd it to her, and I don't know. My dad just follows everyone in the industry. I don't even know how he knows them. He just follows everyone. He's like the FBI for like Instagram. It's crazy. And he sent a DM to Celine, and then she saw it and she was like, "Is she signed?" I wasn't signed, obviously, and that's how it happened. Like it was literally just that, and that's how it happened so fast.
That's so cool. And it's awesome that your parents like are very they're very supportive about this. I feel like sometimes it's usually hard to get them to understand, like, you know what, like I can make a living off of this. Like this is what my passion is. So growing up with having like supportive parents, like how much easier was it for you to get creative and for you to kind of step out of your comfort zone to try new things with music?
It was so easy. Like, honestly, I'm super thankful for that. Like, I can't even imagine if I had like super strict parents. I don't know what I would be doing right now. Like, they let me move out of the country at 16. Like, that's
Yeah.
crazy. I mean, they were obviously like super worried. We talk every single day, we FaceTime every single day, but like, still, like, the fact that they let me go and let me do what I want to do is just, I don't know. I'm super thankful for that. I really don't know what I would have done. I don't.
That's really rare. That's really rare. Now, as we talk about your new single, Beam Me Up, it is your first bilingual single, which is awesome. Congratulations with that. But for you personally, as far as your music goes, do you see yourself doing a lot of bilingual music, or is this one of those that you wanted to kind of test the waters to see how it would do?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when I first started like singing and doing my original songs, I was so like opposed to singing in Spanish because I'm like Catalan and I have a different accent. And I don't know, it just sounded so weird to me. Like I didn't sound like Latin artist, like I didn't sound like Shakira. I didn't sound like all of these people. And I was like, why do I sound like this? And it was because of my accent. And I don't know, I just felt like really uncomfortable doing it. And it got to a point where I started practicing. I started like, trying to sing in Spanish to get my diction better and everything. And I don't know, I feel a lot more comfortable with it now and I'm open to anything, to be honest. I have more songs in like with verses in Spanish and like
Yeah.
hooks in Spanish. Not full songs yet, but like parts of the song. I have more.
Right. How did you go about that, like in the studio, especially working with Campbell? Like, how did you balance the two languages, and how were you able to make them, fit so perfectly?
Yeah, so it was funny because we did the session on Zoom actually, and I was writing with these two girls, with Alex and Eva, and we were like, we should put Spanish in this song. And I don't know, it's just like we were trying to get the concept together in English, and then I would translate it in Spanish and like get the whole thing working. Yeah, I don't know, it's really like whatever feels good, I guess. Like, I don't know. I don't try to think too hard about it.
Now, as far as working with the producer Campbell, like, how do you feel like you were challenged with this track? And this is the second track that you've collaborated with him or with them on. So what was that vibe like, and how do you feel like you were challenged?
I mean, I love Campbell. He's amazing. Like his energy, he's just a great person. You go into the room and he's there and he's just like energy and like happiness. He's so positive. I love him. And I don't know. I mean, I feel like working with different producers, it's always like challenging in some way. Like everyone has a very different and specific way of working. And it's kind of like, like getting that vibe, like getting the vibe with one producer and then with the other one. Like, I don't know, there's producers at this point. My piercing just fell off. um, but yeah, like, what was I saying?
There's producers at this point.
Oh yeah, that I can just be like, hey, can you like do monster voices? Can you like do, I don't know, like weird stuff that is just my vocabulary because I have no idea of like music or like production, and they just get it so fast because they already know me and they already know what I want. And I don't know, that's really cool. Like I just love having like real connections with the people that I work with.
Now, I loved that this song is very dreamy. It fits perfectly with your voice. Your previous song, Interstellar, was more 80s synth vibe. So for you personally, like how do you go about these kind of sonics that you're delivering with each track that you kind of release?
I don't know, like I just love a lot of different genres of music. Like I
Mm.
love everything. I listen to a lot of music, a lot of different genres, and I'm just like, why would I stick to just one thing when I could do a lot of things? And I think you're gonna be able to hear that on my next single, which is coming out in like 2 weeks, and I'm super excited about that one. That one is more like hip hop ish. It has a hip hop
Okay.
sample. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I just like experimenting with different sounds until like I find exactly what I'm looking for. But I also just love doing like everything.
How would you say those different sounds impacts the cadence that you do with your music?
I don't know. Like I love when I see an artist and they have like everything. Like for example, I mean I'm gonna mention Beyonce. I always mention Beyonce just because, I love her. But like Lemonade, she has everything in there. She has
Yeah.
country, she has rock, she has pop, like R&B. It's everything in one album. And I'm like, I want to do that. Like, I don't know. It's just I see other artists doing it and it just inspires me so much to like do it. Cause like artists that just stick to one genre, there's so many things that you can do. Like I just want to open up my mind and like do anything that just feels right in the moment.
But do you feel that every time you change it up, do you feel like you have to learn to sing a different way, or you have to challenge your vocals a little bit more, hit different ranges?
Not really. I don't know. I feel like I also have a very specific way of singing. Like I don't
Mm.
know. I think that's probably why. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really think that that's like a problem or like a thing.
Yeah. Now you're very hands-on with your music, from the songwriting process to the deliverables that we get. How do you balance all that time while still being able to focus on being the creative as far as the lyrics go?
I don't know. As I said before, I just love doing it so much. It's like it doesn't feel like a job or it doesn't feel like I'm working. It just feels like something fun to do. I could just wake up and be like, all right, I'm gonna write now. All right, I'm gonna like record. I'm gonna blah blah blah. I just love doing it so much. It doesn't really feel like I have to do it. It's more like I'm gonna do it because I want to.
Now, tell me a little bit more about like your creative process when it comes to writing your materials. Let's talk specifically for Beam Me Up. Like, what really kickstarted the writing process for the song? Do you usually go by just starting to write lyrics and see where it flows, or do you usually have ideas in mind and you start writing lyrics after that?
It really depends, but with Beam Me Up especially, I remember that I just got back from therapy and I was like, all right, everything that we talked in therapy, like I need to put that in the song. And that's how we started, like the whole concept. I was just like, it was basically like a second therapy session that I have with Alex and Eva. It was just talking about like what I was talking in therapy like an hour ago. And I don't know, the concept just happened like with everything that I told them and like I don't know. It just happened like so naturally because I just had that conversation like an hour ago. So it was super recent. I had everything in my mind. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, pretty sad lyrics to be honest, but I don't know.
But when it comes to topics like that, are you comfortable being vulnerable in the studio, knowing that there's an audience listening?
Yeah. Like, I mean, especially when it comes to like mental health things, like I'm super comfortable talking about that because I don't know, it's just part of my life at this point. So I should just, like talk about it with people and like write songs about it because I don't know, maybe it could help someone in the same situation or like people can relate. And that's what I love about music, like relating to other artists. And I mean, one thing that I'm super uncomfortable writing about and talking about in sessions and just in life in general is love. I just, I don't know. And that's like the main thing. Like that's like the main music topic. And I don't know, it's just so hard for me for some reason.
But I mean, that's good though, because I feel like there's so much music about love and about heartbreak that, it gives you an opportunity to expand to something else, take us into a different kind of world in your music.
True. Yeah, I don't know. It's just weird that I can't even talk about it. It just makes me so uncomfortable.
Now, as far as new music, as you kind of mentioned, a new single coming soon, is this single also produced by Campbell, or did you work with a different producer this time around?
No, this one was with Emil. He also produced Lavish, which was the first song that I ever released with the
Mm.
label. And I don't know. Emil is amazing. I just love him. He's a great person. He's like my uncle from LA. Like he's part of my and I don't know, I have like a lot of songs with him. Like we worked a lot when I was in LA, and I know that when I go back this month, I'm going back this month actually. We're gonna do more sessions, so I'm excited about that.
Nice.
Yeah, he's like amazing, and he really gets me. Like he gets what I want like so fast. He's great.
So the fact that you're starting to do bilingual music, are these producers also bilingual, or is this something that they just have to trust what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much. I just have to tell them what I'm saying, and they're gonna be like, "All right, I'm just gonna assume that that's what you're saying."
That must be rough, but that's awesome that they still make it sound so. I mean, it sounds cohesive. So that's a challenge in itself.
Yeah.
Now, to wrap things up a little bit, you are having a sync soon on Love Island. Like for you personally as an artist, what does it mean to be able to listen to your music on a show, on a movie, on some kind of soundtrack that is outside of a radio?
It's so crazy. Like, I don't know, when they send me the email saying, yeah, Lavish is going to be in Love Island, like, I couldn't believe it. I mean, that's crazy. I would have never thought that. I don't know, just imagine you turn on the TV and that's me. That's my song playing there. And like, my name is down there, my name with the name of the song. That's just so crazy to me. I don't know. It's never happened before. First time that it's happening. So I don't know. I'm really excited.
Did you have to change anything up with the song? Like, do you know specifically where it's going to play, and how much of an impact did that kind of scene that they have it in play onto your music now that you listen to the song?
I didn't have to change anything. And
Nice.
honestly, I don't know. I have no idea what's going on with that. Like, I don't know.
So you're going to have to watch and find it once it happens.
Yeah. Yep.
That's amazing. Well, congratulations with that, and congratulations with the signing. I am looking forward to more music from you, and thank you for taking the time to talk to me.
No, thank you for having me.